Good afternoon, all you fantastic people. Dragon here, coming at you with a little bit of a Kickstarter plug here for my time at Sandrock. Now, for those that recall, per se, I did do an entire series on my time at Porsche, as well as all pretty much every other game. Well, can't really say every other game they've done, but I've also done some on Planet Explorer as well. So, Pathia Games has released some really interesting and fun games overall, and they are now releasing this one as well, which just came as a bit of an out of the field or out of left part kind of thing as well. As for the most part, the only thing that I knew was coming up after their little platformer that they released recently was my time at Duvos or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, which was the kind of imperial style empire that was the main protagonist or villain per se, not protagonist, the main villain of my time at Porsche. And this apparently was originally going to be an expansion to my time at Porsche, but it started to become something, kind of far beyond that kind of scale, so they instead decided to make it its own full-on game. The question being, well, what's going to be different with this one then if they couldn't just make it an expansion? They're basically expanding it completely to be its own, section of the world. It's going to be taking place at the same kind of time frame as my time at Porsche. So you'll get a lot of, like, all of the missions that we did for basically connecting up to Sandrock will take place in this as well. So you get that kind of back and forth kind of feeling of all the kinds of things you were trying to do there to connect up to Sandrock will be events that actually do happen in game as well, which is interesting to see that kind of overlap per se. They are trying to go for more of a Miyazaki-inspired world, and considering my love of everything Studio Ghibli, I can't wait to see that. That would definitely be nice to see. They're also going to be tweaking a lot of gameplay elements to make them more satisfying, as well as improving the overall story arc to make that more interesting and fulfilling in that regard. They're also working on a separate multiplayer function as well, which unfortunately, with how Porsche was built, they just wouldn't be able to, do it with that code. They would have had to do something from scratch to get that implemented. So that's one of the main goals they're adding in for this one is that co-op or multiplayer kind of aspect, which is interesting. I like to see how that goes, as well as of course optimization and making it a little bit more bug free than Porsche. But then again, I never, like, throughout my many hours playing Porsche, I never really encountered that many bugs. So they're like, oh, a more bug free experience. I'm kind of like, or well optimized bug free experience. I'm kind of like, huh, I never had a problem with that. But regardless, definitely do check it out if you are so inclined. It is over on Kickstarter, and I will link it myself here. Looks like the cheapest thing you can get is $20 or 20 US dollars, I should say. Will get you the game full release on, at a lower price basically. 25 gets you the console starter pack, which you'll get a PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch key of your choice, which is quite nice for that. $30 and up will get you the access to the beta, and it kind of just goes up and up and up and up from there as to what you wish to go for. Multiplayer early access as well starts at $40. So if you wanted to get in that early to test the multiplayer as well as get in on the beta, then that's an option for you there as well. And yeah, well, beyond that, it's all up to how much one wants to spend, really. But regardless, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to once more dive into that universe. It's a shame to me personally a little bit in that I'm still hoping and hoping and hoping every time they announce a new release that it's going to be Planet Explorers 2. But they keep going. My time at Porsche has done well. Hell of a lot better than Planet Explorers for obvious reasons. Planet Explorers had a lot of issues, and they ended up losing the code, and that was a whole issue that they had. So it's understandable. But I would like to see a Planet Explorers 2 at some time. Still, this dev hasn't let me down yet, so I'm looking forward to my time at Sandrock. I've already thrown my my 2 cents into that per se and get everything pre-ordered for that. So yeah, feel free to check it out. And if you guys enjoyed, feel free. Or find it interesting per se, and you haven't seen my previous series, feel free to take a look at the My Time at Porsche playlist. Even if you're wanting an idea of what the gameplay is going to be, roughly like, you can check that out as a preview to whether or not you should spend money on this. But regardless, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great one, and I will see you all next time.